a new year, a new class and a new chapter. By the way, by this new year, what I mean is the academic year 26-27 in which you are going to give your class 10 the welcome to all the students of class 10 who are going to appear for the board exams in 2027. So here, it is the starting of your session and I am your faculty Tanvi Pahuja. Today on this platform of Diksha Vedantu, we are going to start our session with the very first chapter of SST. Yes, you heard it right that I am going to teach you social studies. See students, last year we started this YouTube channel Diksha Vedantu and damn, we got a very good response from all the students out there. There might be students who passed class 10th watching this video. I know that you are going to share it with your juniors. Rest to the students who are new. See, this will be the new chapter. In this first video of mine for this academic year, you will get the idea how and what we are going to study. What is the pattern of studying SST? And trust me, this is going to be completely in English because we are going to teach you in English totally. For the students who have restraints, who have problems with the vernacular language, etc., this will be the medium of instruction for this channel. One more thing that I want to share is trust. See, by the end of this video, okay, by the end of this video, I just want that we together study in a way that I start trusting you, that you are going to give your 100% in class 10th, as well as you trust me that ma'am is going to help me entirely throughout my academic session, and this is the only thing in which we can build our relationship till your class 10th results. Okay students, so the first chapter that we are going to study is, without wasting much of your time, that is power sharing. Whenever we start a chapter, understand its title first. Getting my point? Understand what actually is the meaning of the chapter's name, power sharing. That means sharing of power. Right? Sharing of power. Like in a family, when we live together, we see that some of the powers are shared with each of the member of the family. Like there is a grandparent, right? Grandparent looking after each of us. Father earning the income, mother earning as well as looking for the home also, for the child also, right? You taking care of the entertainment stuffs in your family. So here, well, I'm talking about sharing of work, which actually brings power in you. Right? See, but one more thing is that when we are talking about sharing, it means dividing too. Right? Power sharing, which means dividing of power. Don't you think that whenever there will be dividing of power, there will be chaos as well as conflicts? Because when you take power from one person and give it to another person, there will be chaos and conflicts for sure. But is there any other way to keep the family peaceful? So here we are not talking about family, bacha. We are studying civics and we are talking about the country. Right? Let's go on the larger scale and understand the picture very nicely. Right? Right now, you are living in India. You are being the part of power sharing country. But what if this country do not share power with anyone? What if there are states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, but they don't have any power regarding anything and everything is being authorized by the central government. Don't you think that there will be division in the country? Yes, there will be. Right? So that is what we have to understand. Is power sharing good or bad? If it is desirable, how do we practice it in modern democracies? And which are the countries? What happened to the countries who do not follow this power sharing? Don't worry, this is the easiest chapter of entire SST syllabus, right? And because this is the first chapter, you are going to read it multiple times and by the end of the year, everything will be mucked up in your mind. Okay, so what to study and how to study. See, what to study, first of all, I'll make sure that you know the meaning of power sharing very nicely. Right? The NCERT book make us understand this concept with the help of two cases. One is Belgium and the other one is Sri Lanka. In one case, power sharing was adopted. However, in the another case, power sharing was not adopted. Right? Accommodation in Belgium was done, majoritarianism in Sri Lanka was done, and you might be thinking, ma'am, what are these terminologies? I'm not able to understand. Hold on, bacha. We should not rush. We are not sitting in a fast metro. We'll go slowly and understand everything. Okay, next is, okay, power sharing is good, it seems. Then why it is desirable? We should have an accurate points regarding the same. Okay, the next is forms of power sharing in modern democracy. Now comes to the practical thing, right? You're telling power sharing is good, but how we are actually implying it? Tell me that. Practical knowledge. Get it? So what to study? Now there will be a pattern which you have to follow with me if you are studying. Okay, the first and the foremost thing which we are going to do is we have to completely understand the chapter in detail. Okay, this we will do in two forms. One, I will upload a one-shot video of the same chapter which I am doing today. Okay, now you will get a 30-minute or shorter version of the same chapter. Get it? So here you can understand the chapter two times, one in a detailed version, one in a quick version, 30-minute short one, complete chapter. Get it? Now in the same video, we will be practicing MCQs related to the topics. You are going to answer them all. Okay, next is I will be adding certain NCERT questions in the video. As you end this video, you have to take out your NCERT, read it once more because we have ample of time. This is just the starting. See, keep yourself ignited throughout the year. You have to follow a pattern. And the pattern should be same. What is the pattern? You are listening my one shot. You are practicing MCQs over here. Then you are opening your NCERT, reading the chapter once again so that nothing is being missed and you are understanding it line by line. Okay, once you are done with this, then you will solve all the NCERT questions. Ma'am, how to write answers, etc., etc. Leave that responsibility on me. I'm going to tell you that how to write answers. Okay, you will be solving your NCERTs and at last I'm going to give you some homework questions which we have to do. Get it? Understood the pattern? Okay, give me a thumbs up by the way if you understood it. Now, coming to the very first topic. Okay, before moving to it, so this is a world map and so many countries over here you can see in the picture. One thing that I want to clear it, among these more than like 190 countries in the world, majority of the countries, around 180 countries are democratic countries. Okay, you were in class 9th and you understood democracy very nicely. What is democracy? Democracy is a government that is formed by the people, to the people and for the people. Getting my point? Now, what is democracy? It is a form of government which is formed by people's representative because everyone cannot go and sit in the parliament daily. Rather, they choose their representatives on their behalf and this is known as representative type of government. Okay? Now, what happens when you choose your representatives? Okay, pay attention. When you choose your representatives, what you expect is that the work should be done according to you. For you. What if that leader is not chosen by you? The power entirely lies in his or her hand. What happens? Will the person think about your benefits? No. So whenever there is democracy, pay attention. Whenever there is democracy, democracy means a government that is formed by what we can say by people's representatives, right? By people's representative. And those representatives have to work for the people. Now here in a democracy, there is a government, right? There is what, bacha? A government. In this also there are chances that if we do not have a proper structure of government, the power can lie in a single hand. Pay attention, when a power lies in a single hand, they become non-answerable to the people. As they become non-answerable to the people, this is not democracy, this is dictatorship. Right? Why I am telling you all these basics? Because this is how you are going to understand what actually power sharing is. Like if we look at the structure of India, there is a central government sitting at Delhi, right? And if you live in the Karnataka state, there is a Karnataka government which make laws for the state. The central government makes laws for the country. What is it? Power sharing. Getting my point, right? There are a group of people who make the laws. There are a group of people who implement the laws. There are a group of people who act as judiciary. What is it? It is power sharing. So I'm just right now touching the borders. However, we have to go in depth. For in depth, we have to understand what actually power sharing is. Right? So power sharing means distribution of power among different people or group instead of one person having a control over it. Right? Let us start with basic examples which we see in our daily life. For an example, let us look at family. Right? What happens now? Basically, now we should start with the example of family. We see that in a family there are grandparents, there are your parents, father and mother, you, right? Now what happens? There are certain responsibility that lies on your grandparents. Whenever you have to invite someone for any function going on your home, you will send your elders. They have that power. They have that responsibility. When it's about deciding which house to buy, which house not to buy, your father has that responsibility. Whenever it's about the interiors of the house, it's your mother who is taking the power. Right? Whenever it's about vacations, you are taking the charge. What is it? It is the proper division of powers in which a family is living peacefully, coexistently. Right? But what happens now sometimes whenever the grandparents or father take all the charge, they are rude, they are cruel, not understanding any needs of yours, not entertaining what you want, what you don't want. What happens? Will you like to live in that family? No, it will become toxic day by day. It happens, naturally it happens. Whenever the hold is only in the hand of single person and they are not thinking about others, it happens. Understood how power sharing is done? We can see the example of a classroom, right? In a classroom, like let's take a larger picture, let's go to school. You can see there is a principal, right? Below them there are coordinators. Below them there are teachers, then class monitors, then the students. What it is? It is sharing of powers at each level according to their status. Getting my point? Right? The third example, if we look at the match, we can see that there are roles and responsibilities of each of person living there. What happen if only and only captain take the charge? He's not thinking about who is better in which performance and everything. He's just ordering to others. Will the team work effectively as they are doing right now? No. So what is power sharing, bacha? It is distribution of powers among different people of group instead of one person controlling everything. Get it? Okay, take it light. We are going for it. So power sharing means what? Distribution of powers. Let's proceed. And you might be thinking, ma'am, is it going to be so difficult? No. Nope. Okay, when we are done with power sharing, this is very nicely explained to us with the help of two cases. One is Belgium and the other one is Sri Lanka. Okay, we are going to start it with the help of Belgium. See students, when I teach, repeat after me. When you will speak, When all your senses are active, then only you will remember. Pay attention to that. If you are just listening, sitting idle, or lying on the bed, watching the video, not going to work out. Not at all. Okay, sit on a study table, take your NCERT, watch this video, take a pen and a paper in your hand, write everything. This will help you to make notes. Okay, one more important video is coming in my mind, and that is how to make notes for class 10, and this is going to be done super soon. So yes, notes are important and we have to make it so that we can effectively revise it the last days or before our exams. Ma'am, you're talking about exams from now? Yes, I will. Okay, so talking about Belgium. See, Belgium is a European country. Okay, it lies in the continent that is Europe. So Belgium is a European country. Now you have to see this map of Belgium. Pay attention. This is Belgium, right? And this border which you can see, this is Belgium, right? European country bordering with the countries like Germany. Here it is Germany, right? People here speaks the language German. Then here in the north you have Netherlands. What? Netherlands. Then you can see at this is France, French language. And here it is Luxembourg. Okay, small nation, Luxembourg. So Belgium is a small country in Europe, even smaller than Haryana, right? The state of India, it's even smaller than Haryana. It is bordered with France, Netherlands, Germany and Luxembourg. Pay attention. It has population of little over 1 crore. Only 1 crore. Bhai, even half of the population of Haryana. See, it's even smaller than Haryana, half of the population of Haryana. You can see there are just 4 nations bordering this country, small country in Europe. Then, bhai, why are we studying it? What is the issue? Right? Such a small country, why are we studying it with a small population, that too in a chapter which is power sharing? This is what I am going to tell you. Okay, a quick question to all the students out there. What is the capital of Belgium? Right now, tell me in the comment section. Okay, what is the capital of Belgium? So, now why are we studying it? Because of an issue that is known as ethnic composition of Belgium. Now what happens? Now a word came which you don't know, that is ethnic. Right? Ethnic composition of Belgium. But what happens now? Like, we only remember one thing. We have to wear ethnic dresses on Diwali. We have to wear ethnic dresses on some functions. See, what does this word ethnic actually means? Being a diverse country, India, right? When we just cross 1 kilometer or a border of any place, we'll see that there is change in language. There is change in the way they dress. There is change in the way what they are eating. Okay, so that change among the population which have different language, culture, eating style, wearing style, etc., that is known as ethnic. Right? Now what happened in this small country with so less population? Let us see what ethnic variations were present here. Right? See, this is the map of Belgium. This is the map of Belgium. Pay attention. This northern region of Belgium. Okay? This northern region of Belgium is known as Flemish region. This is known as Flemish region. In this Flemish region, pay attention, 59%, pay attention to the statement what I am making, okay? 59% of which population? Total population, okay? The nation's total population, out of which 59% lives in which region? Flemish region, and speaks the language. Which region? Flemish region, and speaks the language Dutch. Now what happens? Why is the issue? Again, I'm repeating the statement. Question will be in a way, what is the ethnic composition of Belgium? The first point, the ethnic composition is very diverse, right? First point will be in the Flemish region. In the Flemish region, the 59% of the total population lives. How many percent? 59% of what total population lives, speaks the language Dutch. Got it? Second will be, this is known as the Wallonia region. Right? This is known as the Wallonia region, and in this Wallonia region, out of total population, how many people live? 40% people live, and these people speaks the language French. If you remember, here it is France. Okay, and because of which there will be influence of French language over there. Again, I'm repeating it. First point was, in the Flemish region, out of country's total population, 59% people live and speaks the language Dutch. This is Wallonia region. Wallonian people lives here. Total population, out of total population, 40% people lives here and speaks the language French. This is the capital city of Belgium. The question I asked you recently, Brussels. Pay attention. This is the capital city of what? Belgium, which is known as Brussels. Right? So, it was 59%, 40%. Ma'am, what about the rest 1%? The rest 1% people are the people who speaks the language German. Okay? Who speaks the language German. Okay, ma'am. Then what is the issue? In a country like India, there are people who speaks the language Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, English, etc. We are also living. Then what is the issue? Why we are telling this? That ethnic composition of Belgium is complex. Why? See what happens. The complexity lies in the capital city. Okay, and the problem starts from here. The capital city, Brussels, here, 80% of the people speaks the language French. 80% of the people speaks the language French and 20% speaks the language Dutch. And right now also you are thinking, ma'am, what is the issue? Right? What is the issue? Let them speak what they want. No, this do not happens in this case. Pay attention. Who are the people who are in majority in the nation? Pay attention. Okay. So who are the people who speaks the language Dutch? Because their percentage is 59%. So who is in the majority in the country? Dutch. Okay. I'm right now not taking minority as Germans. Rather, who is a minority in the country? So French is minority in the country. Okay, who is in majority in the country? Dutch. Who is in minority in the country? French. Who is in majority in the capital? French. Pay attention. In the country, who is in majority? Dutch. In the capital, who is in majority? French. Now, here is the problem. These Dutch people, right? These Dutch people who were in the majority in the country were expecting that all the benefits will be given to them. Why they were expecting them? Because these French people, majority in the capital, were relatively rich and powerful. Right? They were relatively rich and powerful. Whenever some person is rich, whole community is rich, what happened? All the benefits are enjoyed by them. Right? When all the benefits are enjoyed by them, the other community, which is unfortunately in majority in the capital, will resent it. Okay? Don't you think they will be like quite upset by this? All the benefits, like if I talk about the government policies, the government benefits were enjoyed by the French people because they have money, because they were rich and powerful. So what happens? Tension arose between the people of Dutch and French. Lot of tension arose between them. The minority French-speaking community was relatively rich and powerful. We know that, I just told you. This was resented by Dutch-speaking people who got the benefits of economic development and education much later. What happened now? As French people were powerful, they grabbed the all government schemes and opportunities very soon because they have a say over there. They have amount of money to bribe anyone. right? So this was resented by Dutch people because we should enjoy everything, but other than that, French are enjoying everything. Don't you think there will be tensions in the nation? Yes. Brussels, the capital city, has a special problem, that is Dutch-speaking people constituted majority in the country but minority in the capital. We just discussed. What happened? Tension arose and a situation whenever there are a fight among the people of the country, that is known as what? Civil war. So the condition was being created that it can lead to civil war. However, civil war was not happened particularly in that nation. Civil tensions arose in the country. Before it could lead to civil war, the people of the country acted in a very positive way. Get it? So what happened? This leads to tensions between the Dutch and the French, particularly in this time period. Everything in mind or skyrocketed. So we'll revise it, don't worry. We started with what is power sharing. Hold on, take a deep breath. We'll revise everything in just quick minutes. Okay, so we started with chapter's name, that is power sharing. What is power sharing? Sharing of power among different peoples or group of peoples. Okay, this we are studying with the help of a case of Belgium. Where is Belgium? Europe. Capital of Belgium, Brussels. Okay, how many countries bordering it? France, Germany, Netherlands, Luxembourg, right? What is the population? It is even half of the Haryana. That means a crore population in the nation. Okay? Yeah. 1. That means a small population in the nation. Then what happened? The next question or the next important topic from this chapter, what is the ethnic population of Belgium? We have seen that, right? It is very complex or diverse. In the Flemish region lives the 59% of total population that speaks the language Dutch, right? In the Wallonia region lives the 40% of the total population that speaks the language French. 1% people speaks the language German. However, in the capital city Brussels, 80% of the people speaks the language French and 20% of the people speaks the language what? Speaks the language Dutch. So what is the problem in Belgium? Why are tensions rising in Belgium? Because that 80% people in Brussels who are French are relatively rich and powerful. Who is resenting this? Dutch people. Why they are not happy? Because they are getting the benefits later. What will it cause? Civil tensions. When? 1950s to 1960s. Get it, bhai? Or it is everything golmaal. Okay. Fine. So we studied what we can say, case, that is case of Belgium. Now we should move to the second case, that is case of Sri Lanka. And you are right now thinking, ma'am, what happened there? Hold on your breath. We are going to disclose it super soon. First, we will study this case of Sri Lanka. Sorry. Okay. See, Sri Lanka, if we have a look, we know that Sri Lanka is an island country in South Asia. Okay. It is an island country in South Asia. Where it is located? So it is located in the southern coast of Tamil Nadu. Here you can see this is India and this is Sri Lanka. If I talk about the population of this country, right, it's just 2 crore people, about the same that is in Haryana. Now the question is, what was the population of Belgium? Half of the state of Haryana. Here the population is equals to the state of Haryana. Do not get confused, bacha. This is where the students get confused, okay? It's 2 crore people. Now when we talk about the history of Sri Lanka, as we were the part of colonialism, right? Or we were the part of British government. Similarly, Sri Lanka was also colonialized, right? And it got independent just 1 year after India. That is in the year of 1948. Okay, so we know briefly about the geographical location of India. We know about the geographical location of Sri Lanka. We know about the population of Sri Lanka. Let's go and see what is the issue with this small island country, because of which we are studying it in our class 10 chapter, that is power sharing. Okay, and that is the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. It is also diverse as the Belgian population was, right? See, this is Sri Lanka. Okay, pay attention. This is Sri Lanka, and in this nation, the majority of the people speaks the language Sinhala. Pay attention when I say, right? What you have to focus in Sri Lanka, one is language and the other one is religion. One is language and the other one is religion. So here are the people who speak their indigenous language, that is Sinhala. How many people? 74% of the country's total population. How many? 74% of the country's total population, which clearly indicates us that these Sinhala people are in majority. And do you know which religion they follow? So the majority of the people, or almost all the people, were the people who follow Buddhism. Right? We know that it was propagated long back by Ashoka, son and daughter, to Sri Lanka. The Buddhism was propagated and spread. Okay? And now, this is the country where majority of the people follow the religion Buddhism. The next is this northeastern belt of Sri Lanka. Pay attention, see it. This northeastern belt of Sri Lanka, where 18% people of the country's population live and speaks the language Tamil. For sure, which language? Tamil. Get it? Now, these people are the people who follow the religion. Either they are Hindus or they are Muslims. Right? Either they are Hindus or they are Muslims. Get it? Understood the point? That these are in minority. Now, there are the rest 7% people who speak both the language. Right? They know Tamil also. They know Sinhala also. But they are the people who follow the religion, that is Christianity. They are Christians. Right? Is it golmaal going on in your mind? Hold on. I'll repeat it. Take a breath and let's revise it once again. Question will be, what is the ethnic population of Sri Lanka? So the ethnic population of Sri Lanka is very complex. Point number 1. Right? Here in Sri Lanka, the majority of the people speaks the language Sinhala, that is 74% of the country's total population, and follow the religion, that is Buddhism. Right? In the northeastern belt of Sri Lanka lives the people who speaks the language Tamil, that is 18% of the country's total population, and they follow the religion, either it's Hindu or Islamism. Get it? The rest 7% of the people who know the language Tamil and Sinhala both, but they follow the religion, that is Christianity. Now, what is the issue? Ma'am, in India, there are majority of the people who are Hindus. There are people who follow the other religion. They are either it is Islam, Christianity. There are Parsis also living here. Right? Then what is the issue in Sri Lanka? Beta, the issue in Sri Lanka is that these Sinhala speakers who were in majority, what they will think that the government will be formed by, for obvious, there are 74% voters. If they will be voting, the government will be formed by majority. The percent of proportion will be there, proportion of population will be there in the parliament. So, by nature, the country's government will be formed by the majority Sinhala speaking people. right? We are going into depth in this topic, but before that, I have to tell you that these Tamil speakers are also divided. Among this 18% Tamil speaker, there are 13% who are Sri Lankan Tamils. What do I mean by this? Sri Lankan Tamils are the Tamils who are indigenous to Sri Lanka. That means born. Their ancestors were also born in Sri Lanka only. How many percent? 13%. The rest are Indian Tamils, which are 5%. Why Indian Tamils? Because of colonialism, Britishers, etc. Or because of economy, fishing activity. They moved and settled there in Sri Lanka, but they speak the language Tamil. Get it? Getting the whole scenario picture clear in your mind or not? Crystal clear what I mean. Okay, so this is the ethnic composition in Sri Lanka. Now what happened, ma'am? Before moving to that, let's have a quick question. Which one of the following is a major caste group of Sri Lanka? Okay, is it Christians and Tamils, Buddhist and Hindu, Sinhala and Tamil, Sinhali or Christians? Right? For this, I'm giving you a quick revision of the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Right? Meanwhile, you guys guess the answer and write it down in the comment section. Ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. We know that there are 74% people who speaks the language Sinhala, right? So, for obvious, Sinhali will be the correct answer. In which option Sinhali is there? Here also and here also. Let's wait for the correct option. So, this is wrong. This is wrong. 74% of the people speaks the language Sinhala and follow the religion that is Buddhism. Follow the religion that is Buddhism. Right? 18% of the people who speaks the language Tamil, and either they are Hindus or they are Muslims. So for obvious, the majority caste group of Sri Lanka are Sinhali and Tamil. C is the correct answer to this question. This is how the question will come. Okay, I'm making you practice for MCQs. The rest 7% people are the people who are Christians. and who are well versed with the language Sinhala plus Tamil. So this is the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka, which we just studied. Not done. We are having one more question for practice. Consider the following statements about the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Okay. So point number A. Major social groups are the Sinhala speaking, that is 74%, and Tamil speaking, that is 18%. Is this statement correct? Yes, we just studied. This is correct. Second, among the Tamils, there are two subgroups, Sri Lankan Tamils and Indian Tamil. Yes, we know that there were 18% Tamils, out of which 13% were Sri Lankan Tamils and 5% were in Indian Tamils. That is also correct. So A and B is correct. There are about 7% Christians who are both Tamil and Sinhala, or who speaks the language both Tamil and Sinhala. This is also correct. Right? Moving to the fourth one. Most of the Sinhala speaking are Hindus or Muslims, and this is where the mistake is. Right? Most of the Sinhala people are the people who follow the religion that is Buddhism. And hence D option is not correct. We get the answer, that is A, B and C. Read the statement, which of the following are correct? Because what happens sometimes here, incorrect can also be returned. So pay attention, you read the question very nicely before answering it. Okay, coming back to the theory, that is about majoritarianism in Sri Lanka, right? Now, what is majoritarianism? You are thinking about it since starting that, ma'am, so heavy words how we will learn it? See, majoritarianism word comes from a small word majority, right? Whenever, for an example, you are sitting in a classroom and it's being decided that we are going to go on a trip. On this trip, now the locations are two locations. right? The teacher has given you the option that out of this two location, the students who will be in majority, telling the option for that, we will choose that location for future, right? So what if the majority people choose Jaipur to go and the minority choose Udaipur to go for a trip? Now what will happen? For obviously who will rule the class? The people who demanded for Jaipur, and the decision will be taken in their favor. But that's what the decision taken by majority. But sometimes what happens now? This majority starts thinking that the rule should always be mine, right? I should be the one who rules the country. For an example, we live in a country where Hindus are in majority. What if one day they think that the country will only and only be ruled by Hindus? That will be known as majoritarianism. I'll make you understand very nicely with the definition that majoritarianism is a phenomena in which the majority population thinks that by whichever way possible, they should rule the nation. By whichever way possible. And that is what adopted in Sri Lanka. The people who were Sinhala speaking, that is 74%, thought that the majority population is ours. So we should rule the nation, and that is known as majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. What happened? How it happened? So in 1956, see, there are 3 points and the question will come for 3 marks. Question is how the people of Sinhala took the measures, or what we can say, what are the majoritarian measures in Sri Lanka directly, right? In 1956, after independence, when they made the constitution, right, an act was passed to recognize Sinhala as the only official language. Only word is written here. Pay attention to this. We will not write as the official language. Rather, we will write only official language of Sri Lanka, disregarding Tamils. Now, ma'am, what happens if a language becomes the official language? See, when a language becomes official language, the medium of instruction in schools will be Sinhala. All the official works like High Court, Supreme Court language will be Sinhala. The documents, whatever you get in the nation for anything, that will be in Sinhala. The signboards, right, whenever you travel, you will see the boards and written over there, this is this much kilometer. Everything in the nation will be in the language Sinhala, because it becomes the official language, disregarding Tamils. What do you think? Tamil might be enjoying this? Not at all, right? So this was disregard to the another language that was being spoken in the nation. Now you are thinking, ma'am, they were in majority and they will do that. No. Because here also in India, there are multiple languages, right? But we do not have a official language. We don't have. Sorry. We do not have a single official language. We don't have. Right? Single, what I mean here. But here they made a single language as an official language, that's Sinhala. So, first thing is this. Now, second, the government followed certain policies or made policies that whenever any policy will be made, the preference will be given to Sinhala people, and the policies regarding the university position like jobs, applicants, right, as well as government jobs. In this case, preference will be given to Sinhala people. Again, by discrimination, exclusion totally, right? The third thing, now this is extreme. Day by day, they are becoming extreme. What happened? The new constitution, after independence, they formed a new constitution which states that the nation will protect and foster Buddhism. It will protect Buddhism. It will foster Buddhism. What about the other religion? And we know that a nation should never interfere in the religion. We are aware about this. Then only it can be a complete democratic and secular nation. But here their constitution is saying that they will foster and give growth to the religion, that is Buddhism. What will happen in the nation? The Tamilians, because they were from the religion Hindu and Muslims, they will be quite unhappy. And they started feeling alienated in their own nation. They felt that, do we actually belong to this nation? Right? They are making us feel like aliens in the nation. What do you think they will do? They'll raise their voices. So what happened? They felt alienated, and in particular, Sri Lankan Tamils felt alienated by, we belong to this nation only. We are the original inhabitants of this nation, and then too we are being treated so discriminately. Right? So they felt that none of the major political parties, led the Buddhist Sinhala leaders, were sensitive to their language and culture. Actually, we can see by these points, no one was actually sensitive to Tamil language, their culture, their religion, etc. So what will happen? Because of this, the policies, because of this constitution, right? Rights were disregarded to them. Constitutional rights were disregarded to them. There was discrimination in the jobs, in the religion, in the language, etc. What do you think will happen? They will gather, form political organization and demand their rights. If demands are not given, they will demand, okay, then make a separate nation. This is what happens now. If there are like differences between two communities in a nation, and these differences go so intense, that community will ask for separation. This is what happened in Tamil land, particularly in Sri Lanka. Right? There were certain there were several political parties formed, in which the most popular was LTTE, Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. Right? Do you know what this word Tamil Eelam means? Tamil Eelam means the separate Tamil land. Do you remember when we see the map of Sri Lanka, in this northeastern region particularly was the region which was dominated by Tamil people, and they were demanding that we want a separate Tamil land. Right? So now the fights are rising, tensions are rising day by day, clashes are there. There's so much protest in the nation, which finally leads to civil war. Getting my point? Now, what happens in Belgium? You might be thinking that, ma'am, in Sri Lanka there was ethnic problems, it was not getting sorted and it leads to civil war. What about the story of Belgium? Hold on, we'll understand that too. Okay, so what happened in the nation? Civil war. But whenever a nation goes with civil war, the entire order, like it may be political, it can be social, it can be economic, majorly economic and political, get disrupted a lot. Do you know that the civil war continued till 2009, which really affected the political, social and economic arena of the country? Okay, and majorly it impacted the Tamilian people over here, because they were in minority. The Sinhalas were making majority, policies which were favorable to them, but disregarding the Tamilians and their situations. Right? So here, let's take another case. What if, right? What if majoritarian policies were made by Sinhala people? Tamils demanded their rights, and what if Sinhalas have provided them their right according to the proportion of population? They would have lived peacefully, right? And if you are providing them equal rights, that is what is known as power sharing. What if they form a government in which the government numbers of Tamil shall be according to the proportion of the population? They will be quite happier. What if they formed a nation in which there are two official languages, that is Sinhala and Tamil, right? What if they do not tell anyone to foster or protect Buddhism, rather every religion to be allowed there? Then that is known as power sharing, and as a result of which a country can be a place where people can live peacefully, coexistingly. But this never happened in Sri Lanka, which leads to civil war. Getting my point? And this policy is known as majoritarianism. Okay, quick question. To divert our mind from so much theory, which among the following language was declared as the official language of Sri Lankan by an act passed in 1956? Options are Tamil, Sinhala, Hindi or English. Hindi, English came out of syllabus. So it is Sinhala. That's B. Right? How many % of people speak Sinhala? Tell me in the comment section. Okay. Coming back to the story of Belgium. Coming back to the story of Bacha what? Belgium. See. So, quick recall about Belgium if you have forget it. We started with a country that is in Europe, surrounded by France, Germany, Luxembourg, Netherlands. And in this country, there is a region that is known as Flemish region, where 59% of the total population lives and speaks the language Dutch. Okay, Wallonia region, where 40% of the total population lives and speaks the language French, 1% Germans. The situation is vice versa in the capital. 80% of the people lives here in the capital speaks the language French. That means in country, the majority people speaks Dutch. In capital, majority people speaks the language French. Then what is the problem? What was the problem? These French people were relatively rich and powerful, and when there comes the pesa, comes the power. Okay, everything was enjoyed by them, and Dutch were like, oh my god, it's our country, we are in majority. Right? Tensions were raising day by day between the period 1915 to 1960s. But here is a twist. What is the twist, my dear students? Between 1970 to 1993. Okay, between 1970 to 1993, this 23 years of time frame, what changes in their constitution according to the needs and demands of the people. They amended their constitution 4 times. MCQ. How many times? 4 times. Between which period? 1970 to 1993. Why they amended it? See, whenever there is a problem, let's find out what is the problem, what is the cause of the problem. So whenever the civil tensions were going on, they first focused on what is the problem, bhai. So the problem is the regional as well as, okay, regional as well as ethnic differences. The regional as well as ethnic differences in the nation. So let's sort them out. Right? They amended the constitution for the very first time. They said that in the constitution, according to the constitution, the number of Dutch and French-speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government. Very good. For an example, in the central government, there are 100 ministers. How many ministers? 100 ministers. Out of 50 will be Dutch, right? And out of 50 will be the people who speaks the language French. Now, one more question. Ma'am, Dutch were in majority. Right? Dutch were in majority. Why they agreed their population, proportion of population as 50? They would have asked for 59 ministers, 40 ministers in French according to their population. Right? Why they agreed? Other points are the answer for this. Pay attention. Right? See. There is a country with the people, 100 people. For an example, 100 people. Right? Where 60% of the people speak language Hindi. 40% of these people speaks English. When we formed the government, we decided, when we formed the government, we decided there will be 10 ministers who will look out of this country. Right? Now, 60 ratio 40. 6 ministers will be Hindi speaking, 4 ministers will be English speaking. That's very good and good proportion. But here it is not done. Rather they choose half. 50% of the people speaks the language Dutch and 50% who are French. That means equal percentage of people in the central government. Why? We will have we will have the answer. Okay, so the first point is constitution prescribed that there will be equal number of ministers from both the communities, Dutch and French, in the central government. Where? In the central government. Now come the second point. Now the central government, right, the entire nation cannot work as a single land. We divided into states. So this central government has given some powers to state government also, right? Also, so that state government is no longer subordinate to the central government. Before, what happens? It was a unitary government. Unitary government, that means all the powers lies with the central government. Now, the powers are shared with the state government. That means state government are not just acting as puppets. They are having their powers, power sharing. Okay. The third one here is Brussels. What is Brussels? Capital city. Okay. 80% who's speaking? French speaking. So in this Brussels, there will be a separate government. Okay. In Brussels, there will be a separate government in which both the communities will have equal representation. This is the answer to the first point. Here, who was in majority? French. French here agreed for equal representation. Hence, Dutch here agreed for equal representation. Get it? Clever? Okay. So, ma'am, this is so complex. Yes, the structure of Belgium is quite complex, but good one. Right? Now comes the interesting twist which we never saw before in any country, that apart from the central and state government, there is a third type of government. Now you might be thinking, ma'am, is it panchayats? No. Right? So apart from the central and state government, there is a third type of government that is known as community government. That is known as what? Community government. Now what is this crazy community government? So, here in this community, see, the word comes here, community. How many communities were living here? Here were 3 communities. Dutch speaking community, French speaking community, and German speaking community. So, here were 3 community government formed. Dutch government, French government, German government. What are they doing? So, they have the right or the power to make laws on the subjects that are related to their culture, education and language. By whenever there is issue related to their language, they themselves will sort it. No interference of other community, because if the issue goes to central government, French ministers will have equal say. If the issue is about Dutch, no interference. You make laws regarding to your language, culture and education. We will make laws according to our language, religion, education. Get it? So this was the third crazy step taken by Belgium. This is known as accommodation in Belgium. A very sure 5-mark question that is going to come in your exam. What are the steps taken by the country Belgium to accommodate the diversity? 5 points right here in front of you. Mug it up. Write it down in your notes and write as it is in your exam. No one is going to deduct your marks. Okay? Chalo. Do you want a recall? Let's revise it. So, the constitution was amended between 1970 to 1993. How many times? 4 times. First point. What is the first point? The constitution prescribes there will be equal number of ministers among Dutch and French in the central government. Right? Powers will be shared from central to state government. So that state government is no longer subordinate to central government. Okay, do not leave your statement half anytime. Third is, we have a separate government in Brussels too, right? And here the representation will be equal from both the communities. Apart from the state and central government, we have a third type of government, community government. What it is doing? Making laws regarding their culture, education and language. Okay, and this is how we accommodated the differences in where? Belgium. Now, do you remember what Sri Lanka did? Majoritarianism. Now, do you understand what Belgium did? Accommodation. What do you think? Who will be more happier nation? Belgium, for obvious. Right? So the bilingual street sign shown in the image is a reflection of the Belgian government's approach to its linguistic diversity. What is this approach known as? So here both the language are chosen in the signboard, and if this nation made Dutch only the official language, what do you think the signboard will speak about? Only that language. However, they choose to be accommodating the diversity, and hence this is known as accommodation. Get it? And by this first picture-based question, I just want to make you clear that do not leave any pictures in your book, because they come in exams and these type of questions are frequently asked to you. Okay? Do not forget to study any of the picture-based question in your exam. One more question in the form of assertion reason. I'm just making you prepare that these type of questions can come. Assertion is community government in Belgium is elected by one language community. We just saw, yes, Dutch people. I didn't tell you this. So there is a government form, Dutch government, right? Now there are 100 members in this Dutch government. Okay, who are going to elect these 100 members? Only which community? Dutch community. Okay, so community government in Belgium is elected by one language community. Very much correct. Reason: community government helped in resolving conflicts between different linguistic groups. First of all, not different, only the same linguistic group. R is wrong. When R is false, you can see directly here. Assertion is true, but the reason is false. Okay? Clear? Very good, bacha. Now comes the result of Belgium arrangement. By everyone is happy. Avoided civil strife. So I said that in Belgium there were civil tensions, right? Not civil war. Rather, where was civil war? Civil war was in Sri Lanka. Pay attention when you write the answer. There is difference between civil tensions and civil war. So there were civil strife which was avoided by this accommodation, right? And a country which could have divided on the basis of linguistic states, the problem was solved by this, and Brussels later was chosen as the headquarter of European nation and is one of the peaceful country to live in right now. Okay, so the Belgian model of power sharing is described as complicated. Central government, state government, community government, damn how many government. Yes, it is complicated. But what does this suggest about achieving peaceful coexistence in diverse social groups or societies? Option A, it is easy process that can be quickly implemented. Do you think? By easy process? No. It often requires compromise and complex arrangement. We can think about the statement. It is only necessary in countries with extreme ethnic divisions. No, because there were no extreme divisions. We have extreme divisions as nation, right? A single dominant language is the best solution for unity. No. So B is the correct answer to this question. Whenever we accommodate different language, different communities, there are compromises to be made in the nation. Complex arrangement are to be made in the nation. Okay. So here is the answer B. Now, ma'am, why power sharing is desirable? By this whole story of two countries, Belgium and Sri Lanka, it is crystal clear in our mind that by power sharing has to be done in a country which have different ethnicity or different cultural groups, right? So, power sharing is desirable. Question will come, tell us the reasons why power sharing is desirable. In your NCERT, there are two reasons stated. One is prudential and the other one is moral. And you are thinking, give us one reason, right? Why are you splitting it into two now identities? See, prudential reason and moral reasons. Now, what is the difference between the word prudential and moral? Take an example. I'll tell you this with a crazy example. So the example is, you have to buy a phone, right? So you eagerly wants to have a phone and show it among your friends that, see, my parents gifted me this and like create a hype of yours. I have the best phone in the class. Now you're doing dramas at your home that I want a phone because I have to study watching Tanvi ma'am's video, right? I have to study SST. I have to watch Diksha Vedantu's video. It's very, very important for my exams. And everyone is looking you like, don't make us fool. Okay, let's directly come to the point. So, you want a phone. You went to your father asking about that. Papa, can you please buy me a phone? And Papa is like, okay, tell me, why do you want a phone? Okay. And now Papa is telling you, why should not you buy a phone? In those reasons, whenever Papa is saying that why you should not buy a phone, the reasons are very calculated. By calculated, what I mean is, okay, you're not that grown up. You can watch it in TV also, your videos, and you can take my phone whenever needed. Okay, very calculated answers. Now you went to your mother. Mama, I want a phone. Please ask Papa to buy it, right? Or you please buy it for me. Now Mama will be like, Bacha, you are so small. Your eyes will be weak. Okay, you will be diverted. See, the difference between the reasons given by Papa and Mama. Papa is giving you calculated reasons, calculating the pros and the cons of that phone, which is known as prudential. The word means prudential. The reasons you are giving by calculating the pros and the cons. And Mama is giving you the moral reasons. Getting my point? Which is based upon morality. So, why power sharing is desirable? First are the prudential reasons. By whenever there is power sharing, right, there will be least conflicts among the social groups, right? So, power sharing is good because it reduces the possibility of conflict between the social groups. When the social groups are not fighting, it will be stability in the political order. Point number 2. Right? Third and fourth point are critical a bit, but we will understand it. See, third point, imposing the will of majority community. Imposing the will. I am in majority. The nation should follow that. Right? Imposing the will of majority community over others may look like an attractive option, like you are the elder one among your siblings and now you want to impose whatever you want. It may be attractive for a shorter run. One day will come that your younger one will answer you, will reply to you, will talk rudely to you. It will happen now when you're imposing something on them. So, imposing the will of the majority over the minority may look like an attractive option for a short run, but it is not good for a peaceful run. Why? Because, fourth point, tyranny, that means atyachar, okay? Tyranny of the majority is not oppressive for minority. What happens? See, I'll tell you, you might be thinking, ma'am, it is oppressive for minority. It is not only oppressive for minority, but later you will also face the circumstances as happened in Sri Lanka. When civil tensions or civil war was going on, isn't it that Sinhala also faced the circumstances? Yes, they did. Right? So it is not just oppressive for minority, it often affects the majority adversely. Hope you understood it nicely. Now comes to the moral points, right? The points are actually moral. So power sharing is very spirit of democracy. You can't separate it, right? Yeah, whenever there will be a democratic nation, power sharing is must. Next is, a democratic rule involves sharing power within those affected by its exercise and who have to live with its effect. What is this? Pay attention. Whenever power sharing is done, it is done by a body, constitution, or the decision makers. But don't you think that it affects them also? And also the people who are living with it. That means the population, right? Both are affected. Seems like moral reasons, na? Okay, so people have the right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. Whenever there will be power sharing, whenever there will be power sharing, power is also shared among the citizens because they will choose the government. So, The government is based upon consultation by the people. They are consulted. We want this government because we voted them. We don't want this government, will not vote them. Okay. It is a legitimate type of government. I have the legitimate right over my phone because it's mine. I choose that I should buy this phone. Similarly, a legitimate government is the one in which citizens participate. To choose the government, I'll give vote and this will be the government because it's my legitimate government. And whatever is the result of it, we have to accept it. Tera hai par mera hai seems like this, right? Right? We choose the government, so we have to live with its effect. However, the legitimate government is the one where citizens, through participation in the say, they choose them, the stake, we have a representative over there, and involvement in the government, like we generalists basically do the press conferences. We ask question. If we do not like the policies of the government, we do protest. So we have what? We have participation, stake and involvement, and this is what power sharing means and is desirable, because in a democratic setup, people should also have their voices and interest in the government. Okay, so how many reasons are there for power sharing is desirable? 2, prudential and moral. Do we need to mug them up? Yes, important question comes from here. Okay, chalo. As this is clear, let's move to the last important topic of this chapter. Yes, last. Before that, we will see this picture-based question. What does the cartoon represents? This cartoon is in your book, right? If it is not clear, open up the book, see that here they are the leaders of Russia. Putin basically, who is holding this rein of horse on which democracy is returned. What do you understand by that? The leaders are trying to concentrate their powers in democracy, hold their powers in democracy. So what does the cartoon represent? Option A, concentration of power which are controlling the democratic regime of their respective country. B, the main leaders of 2 countries are going somewhere, right? More powers were given to the democracy. Do you think the power is given here? No. Putin is advising Bush to control the horse tightly. Not the horse, the democratic regime tightly. Okay, so go for it. Open up your NCERT right now because I want you to read it. Okay, see this picture and read the title given here. And write that title in the comment section so that I understand you read it, because question can come. Last topic, actually power sharing in modern democracies by ma'am. We are studying power sharing, its definition, its cases, and many more things. Now tell us where actually we are sharing power, right? So power sharing in modern democracies. See, this is one of the most important 5-marker question that comes from the chapter power sharing, right? In every exam of yours, be it class test, be it half yearly, be it after that what happens pre-board, or be it board, this question is permanent, right? And the question will be, what are the different forms of power sharing in modern democracies? First point, among different organs of government, right? Take out your pen, pencil, a lot to write, right? First is among different organs of government. Organs, right? What happened? We have a body. We have different organs in the body. Hands, limbs, legs, eyes, ears. Every organ have a different role, function. Similarly, whenever there is government, we divided it into different organs. For an example, we have a central government which is ruling the nation, entire nation. We have it, okay? This government have a lot of works to do, right? A lot of works. What if we give this power to single group of people? What do you think? They will enjoy it? Yes, they will. Don't you think they are going to concentrate their powers in their hands and misuse them later? Yes. Hence, we divide it into different organs. Pay attention, we divide it into different organs. For an example, we have a legislative body, right? We have a legislative body which makes the law, right? What if the same body executes it? Who will check it that it is executed or not? Okay. Then we have a different body that is known as executive. Who implements the law, right? What they do? Who implements the law. And the third one is judiciary, who is looking whether the laws are made in accordance to the constitution or not. Basically, it upholds the law. Right? Don't you think that this type of power sharing is also known as horizontal sharing of powers? What question will come? Which type is known as horizontal sharing of power? So power when shared among different organs of government is known as horizontal power sharing. It is based upon the concepts of, pay attention, it is based on the concepts of checks and balances. Bhai, what is this? Why it is balance here? Checks and balance. See, right? See, I'll tell you. Let's take the example of Indian legislative body. So we have Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha as a legislative body, and the people here makes the law, right? In this body, among these members, whichever political party is in majority, choose some ministers, and that group of people are known as executive, which executes the law. What if, pay attention, what if in the law making process there is certain loophole? Who are going to question? These ministers. Okay, these ministers. What if some wrong law is made by the parliament? Who is going to check it? This judiciary is going to check it. What if these executive, the ministers and the government are not working in accordance with the people? Who have the right to replace them or pass a no confidence motion that we don't have confidence in this government, we have to remove them? These legislators, if they have majority, and that majority is not of our business, that's written in constitution, by itni majority chahiye, we need this much of majority. Okay, get it? So everybody is checking each another, and that is what is known as checks and balances. Hope this is clear to you, bacha. If not, please tell me, because I want everything to be cleared to you. Okay, chalo. Next is about different levels of government. Okay, so we know that we have a level that is central government, then below which lies state government, and below which lies local government. So powers are divided vertically, and hence it is also known as vertical form of power sharing. Vertical form of power sharing. Done? Third is among different political parties, pressure groups and movements. Let's understand each of them. So if we talk about political parties, how the power is shared among them. See, there are so many political parties in India, right? Each party stands in election because their role is basically to fight elections, contest the elections and form the government. What if anytime one single party is unable to manage that majority votes, then what will happen? They will join hands. This actually happens in the scenario after 1990s. Okay, some small parties which have the vision that's clear, why we are not able to find a good place in the parliament. So what we shall do? We should join hands with a larger party so that at least we have some reference in the parliament. We have some say in the parliament. So when two or more than two political parties come together to fight election, contest election and form the government, that type of government is known as coalition government. Okay, the government formed is known as coalition government, which is example of power sharing among political parties. Okay, among pressure groups also, like who are the pressure groups who are pressurizing the government by in what we can say on behalf of people that this policy is to be implemented. So what is going on? Power sharing. Basically among the people, what are the people's view? Some of the representatives are picking them up in the parliament or in front of government as pressure groups. Okay. Movements, whenever you don't like and Forest Act was passed, right? The Farmers Act was passed. The farmers do not like it. They started a movement in Delhi. As a response, it was taken off. So what is that? Movement. By that movement, you have a say in your government. You have a power shared in your government. Okay? Last but not the least, among different social groups. By best example for this we studied in the chapter is community government. What are the social groups? The people who speak different language, follow different culture, religion, etc. These are different social groups. In that government, community government, what is being done? Power is shared among them. What is being done, bacha? Power is being shared among them. So this is a form among different social groups. If I talk about India, how power is being shared, we know about reservation. Okay, among different social groups. We saw that there are certain peoples who are not aligned with the mainstream society. Hence, we provided reservations so that they can also have equal status within the society. Like the people belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Okay, get it? Everything clear? So this was the last and the most important topic of the chapter. How can power be shared in modern democracies? So as in the starting I said that we will in detail conceptually understand this entire chapter and we did it right away. So let's recall just in 2 minutes what we studied. We started with the definition of power sharing. Remember in your mind, do you remember it? And if not, you have to read the NCERT right now. Okay, so what is power sharing? Case of Belgium, in which you will study introduction, then ethnic composition, why tension rose, and then last is that is accommodation in Belgium. Then you will move to Sri Lanka. You will understand the basics, that means introduction, then ethnic composition, why problems arose, majoritarianism in Sri Lanka, right? So by this we understood we have to choose power sharing. Power sharing is desirable. Prudential reasons, moral reasons. And the last, forms of power sharing in modern democracies. Okay. So the questions just after this you are going to answer. Which of the following is not a reason of power sharing? Option A, to allow participation for diverse social group. Not a reason. By to allow participation for diverse social groups, to ensure efficient decision-making process, to promote majoritarian tendencies. By this is not the actual reason of power sharing. We are not promoting majoritarian tendencies in it. Okay. Now comes the important point. Ma'am, what are these questions about? These are your homework questions. See, I in the starting told you that after reading a chapter thoroughly, understanding it thoroughly, if you do not practice it, nothing is going to help you. So as we read the chapter, now it is the time to practice it. Yeah, certain questions, list of questions I added. Read them, understand them, and still if you face any option, comment section is always open for you. Okay? Once you are done with these questions, I ensure you that you are never going to lose marks from the chapter power sharing. Hope you enjoyed the explanation, and if yes, just tell me right now in the comment section, and I also want this answer in the comment section. Okay, match the following keywords from the column A. Keywords are ethnic, then we have civil war, then we have prudential. I explained the meaning of all these words, and we have majoritarian. Whenever the chapter ends, there are keywords explained in the end of the chapter too, and this type of MCQs can help you in that. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the session. We will meet in the next chapter, that is resource and development from geography. Then we'll do economics first chapter, that is development, and then we will move to history. Not taking you directly to history and ghost you in the starting. So, do give your feedback in the comment section, and again, I would love to welcome all the students who are giving class 10 board exams this year. Be the part of Diksha Vedantu, because we have a legacy of 27 years and all subjects will be taught to you in the same channel. If you forget to hit the subscribe button, do it right now. Do not go back without doing it. Okay, tata bye bye. Meet you soon in the next video.